Hi, I'm over the TheAllSeeingCamera. We back to the channel with another one. Right now we're gonna react to and show the evidence images shown of inside the vehicle after the murder was occurred with YNW Melly and his friends that night. It was shown today in trial. Today is day 2. There has been a lot of evidence shown, like them walking in and out of the actual studio, which we just reacted to that. That was nuts because we've seen the parking lot images before when they're getting in the car. Never seen the inside the studio or even the side of the door to confirm the faces. Today we were able to see a better angle of who. Now it made a lot more sense on why the prosecutor in there, his team was like, no, we know for sure that was Melly that sat in that seat. Now it makes a lot more sense. I kept saying, like, how about if it was just somebody that looked like him? You really can't see facial. A lot more videos and images shown from inside the studio when they were leaving and getting inside the vehicle. If you guys haven't seen that, go check out that video, which we're gonna upload if it hasn't been uploaded already. But now we're here to see the crime scene footages of the actual drive-by and inside the Jeep vehicle. This is gonna be nuts, and they're gonna go into detail more. Let's see what they have to say and what to share about all of this. This case is insane. There's so much going on. How do you guys feel so far? Do you feel like it's looking scary for Melly, or do you feel like, nah, he's good and he's gonna beat this? Please let me know. I am wondering what you guys think.
Moving on to the next photograph. What are we looking at here?
This is Detective Mark Moretti, the search warrant for the vehicle.
The vehicle in question, what is it?
It's a Jeep Compass.
So remember, that's the Jeep that we see them all getting inside. There was the red Jeep, there was the black Jeep. You see Melly and everyone else with him getting inside that vehicle. I'm gonna keep saying allegedly because I just keep getting inside that vehicle.
Red lettered writing?
Yes.
Moving on to the next photo. What are we looking at in here? I'm gonna zoom in here to the hoodie again.
A whole bunch of bullets by the door.
We used to seal the vehicle in the same way that we sealed the premises prior to the search warrant. The vehicle and all its entries are sealed prior to the search warrant being executed.
So, for example, now looking at the screen down here at the bottom of the passenger side doors. That red item, is that the same evidence we've been looking at?
Yes, it is.
Moving on to the next photo. What are we looking at in this image?
This is showing the front passenger side portion of the vehicle.
Moving on to the next photo.
This is showing the exterior of the front passenger side and rear passenger side doors.
Have you begun executing and searching the search warrant at this point?
No, I have not.
So what is the purpose of all these exterior outside photos?
All these are to document the vehicle in which I found it when I responded to the search warrant, and all photos are taken prior to the execution of the search warrant.
So again, going to the rear door seal, was that still intact?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And the rear trunk seal, was that one still intact?
Yes, it was.
The initials NK, on that, do you know who those belong to?
Yes, that's Michael Kelly. That was my supervisor at the time.
You read my mind to my next question. On the back of this vehicle photo, what is the tag number of the Florida tag?
That's wild. Even the windows are blown out, everything. Again, shooting erupted inside. The thing in question though always is, was the shooting a drive-by or was it shooting that happened after to make the scene look like a drive-by? That is really the main question in all this.
India Echo Kilo Delta 22.
For those of us not law enforcement, can you please translate?
IEK D22.
The India Echo Kilo Delta that you just used, what is that commonly referred to? The alphabet.
Fennel.
Going on, what are we looking at on this image?
This is showing the driver's side exterior of the vehicle.
And going to the seals on this particular item.
Sorry, repeat that.
The seals right here on this particular area item of the door. Was it intact?
Yes, it was.
Moving on to the front door seal at the bottom between the front driver's door and the rear driver's door. Was this seal also intact?
Yes, it was.
As to the state of the windows of the car, did it manipulated in any way while you were taking these pictures?
No, they were not.
Moving on to the final picture of the evidence tape here on the driver's side door by the A column near the hood. Was this?
All right, so they're just going over the tapes to make sure nothing was messed with.
Touching the vehicle.
So this that we're looking at is actually inside the vehicle. Remember, one of the men that lost their life that day was actually sitting in that passenger seat right there in the front.
Goes with the touch knife going back to the vehicle, vice versa.
The front passenger side view that we're looking at right here. Later on are the items collected.
Yes, they are.
We'll get to that in a little bit. What area of the car are we looking at here in this next photo? My apologies.
That is the area between the front passenger seat and the door jamb for the front passenger door.
Damn, blood everywhere.
The next photo, what are we looking at here?
That is the front passenger side floorboard.
Moving on here. The seats, did you manipulate them in any way before taking this photograph?
No,
Moving on into the next photograph, what are we looking at there?
those are gold caps for teeth.
And
that was gold caps for teeth. I thought that was a whole bunch of little roaches. Also, we can see right now, don't forget the person sitting right in back of that also lost their life. Both sitting on that side magically.
so it's clear that that's a close-up photo.
And we also see blood in the back, right there on the floor,
passenger
little
door, is that
pill
correct,
thing,
Stephen?
Yes, that's correct.
allegedly.
When we're looking at this rear passenger door, what are you documenting in this particular area?
I'm documenting the interior of the rear passenger door and the door jamb for the rear passenger door, as well as the seat and the floorboard in the passenger door.
On to the next image. What are we looking at in this photo?
That is a spent projectile.
So I'm going to go back a photo. Is that the same projectile that is down here?
Yes, it is.
Going forward again, what are we looking at in this image?
That is the rear passenger side floorboard and items that were found there.
Continuing to the next photo, what are you documenting in this image?
In this image, you can see the partial back of the front passenger side seat, the again floorboard of the rear passenger side floorboard, the rear passenger side seat, and a projectile hole that you can see defect on the seat.
And so I'm going to zoom in on an area. Can you explain what you're talking about the projectile hole?
Yes.
Can you use the screen to touch if you're to draw attention to certain areas?
I observed a defect in the seat. That is something wrong. Gone into detail.
Moving on to the next image here. What are we looking at?
This is the rear passenger side seat, as well as the rear passenger center console, in cup holders, and partial of the rear driver's side seat.
This area in the center with the two spray cans. Is that how you found it in the down position?
Yes, it was.
That is super gruesome. Like, oh my god.
In this image here, can you describe a little bit about what's the red and white plastic item on the bottom of the floor? What is that?
That is a plastic bag.
So that's where he was sitting at Melly on that side.
What are you documenting in this image?
This image shows the trunk which had been opened, and in the photograph you can see the car manual and a jacket.
Did you disturb any of the glass? Did any of the glass move when you were opening that trunk?
Not that I recall.
What do you, in this next image, I'm going to go back one. Did you open the rear trunk to get better photographs inside?
Correct.
Is this the interior of the rear trunk lid?
Yes, it is.
Can you kind of describe to ladies and gentlemen of the jury as to how the trunk lid is and how you're taking the picture so they can orient themselves in space?
In this photo, the orientation is staying in the back of the vehicle. The hatch trunk is opened up, and I'm looking upward at the interior of the trunk.
And so why don't you take a
Showing it
picture
like
of
that,
this white
with the
fuzzy
trunk
cell?
open. Alright.
I observed a projectile defect.
Was that a bullet
Moving
hole?
on to the next photo. What did you document here?
This is a yellow jacket that was found inside the trunk that I observed red stains on.
Why would you document red stains?
These are something we blood.
Did you do any presumptive testing at this point?
Not at this point.
Moving on to this next image. What are we looking at here?
This is the rear driver's side seat. I'm vantage point of the driver's side door. Shows the driver's side seat, the driver's side floorboard, as well as some of the cup holders and rear passenger side seat.
Next image. What are we looking at here?
This is also another photo of the rear driver's side and cup holder.
Next image. What are you focusing on in this particular image?
This photo shows the rear driver's side floorboard, which has a Gatorade bottle, a cap, and a white plastic bag.
There's a lot of blood in
Moving on
that.
to the next image. What are you showing here?
In this image, it shows the interior of the front driver's side door and somewhat of the interior of the front driver's side seat and floorboard.
Moving on to the next image here. What are you looking at?
This image shows the steering wheel, partial of the front driver's side seat, the center console, and the side of the front passenger side seat.
On the next image now, we have a little bit different. Why do you put these yellow numbers?
These numbers, at the time of photo markers, not mine together for those placards, so I might refer to them also as placards, but these placards show and denote items of interest that will later be collected, and it's easier to recall back to a certain item and to show where that item is.
As you're documenting and collecting the evidence, do you use these photo markers in your reports and notes?
Yes, I do.
So, to go back to the photo 1, 2, 3, 5, where did you collect the items at photo marker number 1?
Yes, I do.
Do you maintain the liquids that are inside of them when you work with the mirror marker experiment? Did you collect the items of evidence that were there next to photo marker number 3?
Yes, I do.
Moving on to photo marker number 6, did you collect the gold teeth that were in that pocket there?
Yes, I do.
Item number, item number 7, did you collect that item?
Yes, I do.
And what was that?
That was the step projectile.
For item that's at photo number, marker number 8, what was that and did you collect that?
I believe that is the pair of shoes. Yes, I do.
So there was the sneakers in the front and the back, or am I tripping? I'm like, I swear I just saw those
Did you
exact
collect the item
sneakers.
at photo marker number 9?
Yes, I do.
And what was
Oh,
that?
no, we're looking at the back. We're looking at the back. Because I know the white cell phone's in the front, blue in the
As to
back.
photo marker number 10, did you collect the 2 spray cans that were there?
Yes, I do.
For DNA purposes, I'm assuming.
Going on to the rear of the vehicle, photo markers 12, 13, and 14.
Alright, this is going
Did you
over all the
collect
stuff
everything?
we just saw and seen.
Listed in this photo.
Yes, I do.
I need detail by detail. The first thing you do is what? When you're getting swab, you're in swab area. You change your gloves, and I went very persistent.
Yes. I get my new pair of gloves out of the box and take a new sterile swab, open the swab packaging, and seal the sterile, and open up a new sealed container of sterile water, and that water is then placed and dropped.
I feel like something was collected as well from the driver's side, as we could tell from the photo marker 19. Something had to be there.
This is the front driver's side window.
Okay, you have, and what photo marker is here? So what are we looking at here underneath the brake pedal?
That I believe is a spent projectile.
Wow.
Is that then marked with photo marker number 24 that we're looking at in this photo?
And again, another main thing is those projectiles, if somebody's shooting you from the outside in, if you guys ever been to a range before, shells fly out of your weapon. When they fly out of your weapon, if you're shooting at a car and you're outside the vehicle, the shells are not going to fall inside the vehicle. Their defense could always be that they were shooting back at that vehicle from the inside, shooting out. I'm not sure if that was part of their story ever.
Yes, it is.
And item number 23, the glasses case. You were documenting that?
Correct.
On to photo marker number 25. Did you take these? Was that on this enterprise receipt? On the, not the Jeep Compass, my apologies, I'll rephrase.
So the car was rented. I'm like, what are we looking at? So we're looking at right here, the renter's agreement. It sounds like she just said Enterprise.
The enterprise receipt, did it have any name of the renter on it?
Yes, it did.
And what was that?
Jameson Francois.
And if you guys don't know Jameson Francois, that name actually rings a bell to a lot of us that look at cases like this. If you remember the King Von case, he is, I want to say he's allegedly, because I'm not 100%, I'm like 99% sure we're talking about the same person. The manager, I forgot the manager of the label that was managing, I believe, Black, I believe Summer Walker, King Von, Melly. There was a couple that he was managing. So it looks like he happened to rent this vehicle for them.
I'm going to move on to the next photo here. What have you done to document the scene in this photo inside this Jeep?
In this photo, it shows two trajectory rods that were placed inside of the projectile defects to show an approximate path of the projectile. Excuse me, give me a photo.
Let's skip around this. All right, so right here is when they start actually showing the bullet holes and they start showing where everything went. 'Cause I was looking at the back, like if the window was shot out, where did all the bullets go? It looks like they all pointed to one side too, which looks crazy. We haven't seen the Melly side yet, but even if they were outside the vehicle, I would have shot both sides just to make it look even. I'm not sure what the difference is with the green and the red little sticks. They'll probably tell us, but you can see one hit the top head of the seat, and 6 hit the bottom side of that behind the passenger seat.
How many trajectory rods are in?
Oh, so I'm sure that red one is just the blood.
Going forward to this next photo, all the other items of evidence have been removed. So I'm going to go for time frame.
All right, so this is after everything was taken out of the vehicle.
When we're looking at this photo here, what are we looking at?
Side again, allegedly he was sitting in.
So what are you documenting? Can you again circle the defect? So
Oh, there's a bullet right there.
and to get this photo, how did you have to position the rear driver's side door?
The door had been fully moving, and the defect had to be photographed from a tile as it was moved from the phone to the fully photographed.
Shell casings again found inside the car.
65 photos.
I believe finding those shell casings inside the car is going to hurt his case. That is one thing that for sure will hurt his case. Because that always had me in question. Like, did you guys shoot back?
So we'll move on now to the photos for each of the items of evidence.
All right, so here's when we start seeing the items taken outside the vehicle and images of it. Remember that yellow jacket we saw in the trunk? Here we can see the blood splatter that he was talking about on the actual jacket.
Scale.
What's the purpose of having that in photographs?
The scale shows the size of the item that they went to document, and the scale also has parameters on it that allow it to be fixed if not changing the rectangle.
Understood. Moving on to the next photo, this is the opposite side of item number 12.
Yes.
What do you do in between items to ensure that there's no cross-contamination?
In between items, the paper on the board with items placed is changed every single time, and also changed between.
I didn't even think that makes sense, yeah.
When you say the paper that's
So that gray paper you see in the back, that's changed out for every single item that they put down on there, so no DNA gets changed from item to item.
down there, what is that? What specific
Or
item?
cross-contaminate, rather say.
Is it ever reused during the course of the case?
No, it's not.
Never reused,
Moving on
that
to the
makes
next
sense.
photo. What are we looking at here?
That is a sock, a Jeep Compass user guide, and a box.
And what photo marker were these documented at the previous set of photos?
The order of
A jewelry
Going on
box.
to this next photo, still at photo marker 13. What are you showing here?
I'm showing the opposite side of both the sock and the Jeep Compass user manual and the interior of the box.
Moving on to item number 15. That is what?
That is a
This is insane.
Did the Miramar Police Department policies and procedures allow you to maintain that item of evidence?
no.
Why not?
Because of
They got the custody lighter in the car. You know it's never a
The
good
this
time.
Evidence is just the photographs.
That's correct.
Moving on to item 16. What photo marker were these items documented under?
Photo marker system.
And what are we looking at here?
This is a belt, disposable lighter, pair of scissors, and a blue container.
Inside the blue container, based on your training and experience, what did that substance appear to be?
I observed a green substance inside the container.
Did it have any odor associated with it?
I do not recall.
Cannabis. He just don't want to say it because he can't.
This is a heat bottle with red stains on it.
And what photo marker was it documented at?
Photo marker system.
Moving on to the next photo marker. What are we looking at here?
This
I actually want to see 19. That's what was taken from the driver's seat.
plastic cap, a Gatorade bottle, also with red stains on it, and a white plastic bag with red stains, and containing a green plastic cap and a spent bullet casing.
That's crazy. It's wild to me that they didn't even look inside the bag,
Next photo.
or unless
Where is
they,
this casing located?
unless the casings were left on purpose in their side because they thought it made their story sound better. But it's just confusing to me. Unless they said they shot back, but I don't recall that.
When you put the item out of the car.
The casing was located in a white plastic bag that was found on the driver's side of the floorboard.
Was it visible until you removed the bag?
No, it was not.
Moving on to this next photo with the scale in the large number 18. What are we looking at here?
This is a close-up photo of the spent cartridge casing that was collected in a white plastic bag.
And would you be so kind as to tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what is on the next photo that we're looking at and zoomed in on?
This is the head stamp of the spent cartridge casing that is laser 40 SW.
And I'm not going to assume anyone is familiar with firearms and anything like that. So you please give the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what is a bullet cartridge or an unfired bullet?
A unfired bullet is comprises of a projectile that's in the front end of the cartridge casing, and the cartridge casing comprises of gunpowder, a primer, and when the primer is struck,
The back side of it, you always see the bullet hanging out the front. That's not one piece. That whole thing don't go out together.
What happens to the
Casing flies out, bullet goes straight.
The cartridge casing stays within the same.
If it is a semi-automatic firearm or automatic firearm, what happens to the casing?
The spent cartridge casing is ejected from the ejection point.
See, eject it out.
So the projectile that we're looking at in some of the other photos. Collected. What were these?
These are two.
Oh, so this was taken from 19, just as flops.
Is this a different blue plastic container than the one that was in the backseat?
Arizona, Charger, a little bit of grabba. Guys, a lot of information was shown here right now that was taken from the actual crime scene. What do you guys think about everything shown today? Make you feel any different about the case currently? Do you feel more optimistic for Melly? Do you feel like there's more information that was left out still? Also, YNW Melly's lawyer did jump in and just start talking about how Bortland be lying. A lot of the stuff he said was lied to them. Trying to make it sound, I don't know what he's trying to do with that, but I did notice that yesterday. You guys let me know down below. What do you think about all this? So do you think it's looking good for Melly or do you think it's looking bad? Let me know. Like I love to say, until the next one, we're out of here.